Hi, Assalamualaikum to Madam Faiza. Today my group will be presenting about our mini project of online learning. Online learning PNS student views on online learning at home during movement control order MCO. Next, before I start the presentation, let me introduce my name first. So, my name is AQIL bin Muhammad ANUAR, matric number 23DBT20F1017. Okay, first of all, I will explain about the definition of online learning. Online learning is education that takes place over the internet. It is often referred to as e-learning among other terms. However, online learning is just one type of distance learning, the umbrella term for any learning that takes place across distance and not in a traditional classroom. In this pandemic era, people didn't feel surprised anymore. As we know, nowadays the COVID-19 has resulted in schools and universities shut all across the world. Globally, over 1.2 billion students are out of the classroom. As a result, education has changed dramatically with the distinctive rise of e-learning, whereby teaching is undertaken remotely and on digital platforms. Next, the objective of our mini project is to determine efficiency of device people use for online education. The second one is to identify the effectiveness of online learning, and the last one is to identify the challenges students face when studying online. Our data were collected from 39 female respondents and 14 male respondents. Among them, aged 18 to 19 years, as many as 39 people, and 20 to 21 as many as 14 people. And for the department, because of we collect the data from polytechnic students, so from Department of Retail and Management JP, as many as 36 people, and from Department of Agro-Industry and Biotechnology JAB, as many as 17 people.
The first question is, how do you feel about online learning? We can see the highest answer that people choose is average, which is 47% of people choose that answer. The lowest answer that people choose is poor and excellent, where only 6% of people choose that answer. The second question is, do you have access to a device for learning online? We can see 51 of people choose yes and only 2 people choose no. The third question is, what device do you use for distance learning? We can see that 43 people use the laptop for online learning and only 10 people use smartphone.
Assalamualaikum, my name is ADIL bin Muhammad Anwar. My matric number is 23DBT20F1016. So, our fourth question on our survey is, how much time did PNS students spend there on online learning? Based on the pie chart, we can see that 51% of respondents spend about 5 to 7 hours per day on online learning, while 38% of respondents account for 3 to 5 hours per day. This is because majority of students have the same credit need to be scored during each semester. Meanwhile, 6% of respondents spend their time on online learning about 1 to 3 hours and 10 hours and above. Next, this graph shows which delivery is most effective for online learning based on the PNS students' vote. So, the highest respondent is real-time face-to-face online learning with on lecture at 34 respondents. So I think students need more time with lecturer to have some explanation and discussion to make a better understanding and clear presentation. So the next one is recorded video lesson by on lecture. This delivery is a little lower than real-time face-to-face online learning with lecture. There is 14 respondents. So the lowest delivery for effective online learning is live YouTube learning from unknown lecture. I think this is because students is lack of confidence and understanding to a different method of lecture and a high communication skill that makes students hard to catch up, while there is 4 respondents for YouTube videos from unknown lecture. Next, based on the survey, if students feel comfortable with online learning methods at home during the Movement Control Order or MCO. So, based on the bar chart, we can see that the highest respondent is 22 students, which is, I think they feel comfortable with online learning due to every student can hear the lecture clearly. The second higher is frequency is 14 respondent, which is students have more time to study. This is because we can save time for transportation, going to class, point of activity, and have a own schedule to study. Meanwhile, the lower frequency vote got from respondent is 11 students, which is student can ask without much reservation. This can pull away a scared feeling from students to ask a question because student can ask question from a chat box. Lastly, the lowest frequency is 6 people, which is PPTs or PowerPoint are available right in front of students, or we can see the PPTs as our notes.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is HAFIZ, and I will continue on question number 7, which is if not, why? So this question is based on question number 5, which means the reason why respondents say that the delivery is not effective. So the graph shows the number of respondents with the reasons why the delivery is not effective. And 16 of the respondents say that lack of communication with classmate and lecturer. Okay, of course, when we want better understanding, we must have more communication with each other. But since we do online learning, we just study from the online live class or recorded video, which causes a lack of communication. So that's why the delivery is not effective. Okay, and then followed by 15, which is more excitement. For example, there are many video provided by the lecturer, which need to be watched and studied. So some students don't understand by just watching the video, meaning that is not an effective way to study. And the remaining is 13, which is stress, and 9 for delay response from lecturer. Okay, this example, during live class, we want to ask a question, but we have a trouble with the internet. Okay, next is question number 8, which is, do we enjoy online learning? So the graph shows the number of respondents, whether they enjoy online learning or not. Okay, as we see that 36 of them are enjoying online learning. This maybe because students have more time to study instead of face-to-face learning. And the remaining 17 are not enjoying online learning. This may be due to slow internet access or other internet issue like student lack of Wi-Fi facility, which causes students to often subscribe to internet data. And of course, another reason they don't enjoy online learning, maybe that some of them don't have a good device for online learning. Next, we proceed to question number 9, which is, which aspect of online learning require improvement? And most of the respondents, 21 in total, say that give more time to student to submit assignment. Because of why, we know that students do not only study one subject but more. Okay? So when students get assignment, other lecturer also give assignment, and the deadline for the assignment are at the same time, which make them stress. Okay, and 16 of the respondents want more discussion with students in doing difficult assignment or project. So that students are clear about doing their assignment. And then 14 of the respondents want more explanation to students during online session, and the remaining 12 want to increase student engagement.
Conclusion. There are 3 types of objective. The first is to determine efficiency of device people use for online education. Secondly is to identify the effectiveness of online learning. Lastly, to identify the challenges students face when studying online. So most of our respondents uses laptop during online learning. This shows how efficient it is to acquire a laptop because of how useful it is. We would suggest students to buy a laptop since there are many things that can be done with laptop instead of using smartphone. Other than that, having online learning is good and average since we are in the we are in the pandemic, it is better to learn digitally and not physically, so that we could all be safe from the COVID-19. And we suggest that the school make online learning more interesting, so that students do not lose interest in the class and make them learn better. Lastly, the challenges that students face during online learning are lack of communication between the student and lecturers, and that there are many assignments given to the students. We suggest that the lecturers and students to interact more with each other, and also the lecturer should ask more questions to the students and vice versa, so that there should also be limit to give assignments, because it could cause too much stress for doing assignments constantly.